Our special focus at this hour, well, the horrific tragedy in the national capital. 3 young lives tragically cut short. Tanya, Naveen and Shreya all lost their lives after the basement of a coaching center got flooded. And remember, this was a basement that was illegally being run as a makeshift library. And now there's national outrage across cities and here in the national capital as well. We saw students relentlessly protesting and demanding accountability. Accountability has not been fixed, with some junior officers being suspended. Arrests have been made as well. But it's really the top babus and the top netas who continue to shift blame. Take accountability now is what we demand here at NDTV. In fact, call us with your views. Tell us what you think about the fact that blame game over this horrific tragedy continues, and the fact that our metro cities, particularly a city like Delhi, has failed all those students who come from far off cities with a lot of trust and hope. Joining me on the show, Ritvik Sahu, a UPSC aspirant who will be with us, but all of you to call us with your views, particularly students, young voices that we want to champion and reflect on the show this evening. But Ritvik, absolutely shocking there, the kind of tragedy that we saw here. And in fact, today, one of the students who approached the Supreme Court said that it's like living like pests. It's like a living hell, this prestigious UPSC hub in the national capital. How do you see that?
Yes, to be very honest, the conglomeration of the, buildings, everywhere, it is like too much suffocated for each one of students to live. It is not easy for, us to survive here because, everywhere you will see there is, lots of waterlogging during the rainy season. There is lack of facilities. Even we are paying so much of, high rent, like 25,000 is the minimum, rent there in Karol Bagh, Rajendra Nagar and Patel Nagar as well. But the facilities that we are getting is like too low to survive. It is like breach of our life. Everybody, we are at stake. Nobody is there. To hear us. Nobody is there. We are. Our life is just being sacrificed. Nowhere. Nobody is there to take care of us. Whom to approach. Who to say all of these things. Particularly when it comes to life. When it comes to matter, there is nobody. So, the life of, UPSC aspirants is like a hell here. Honestly, saying everybody is suffering. Everybody, nobody is, mentally stable. Nobody is, at a peaceful moment. Yeah, the one who can, afford that much of, resources, that much of, money, they are living in a high villa or a, high residential area. But mostly the students, the 95% of the UPSC aspirants, comes from the middle class background, and they do not afford, they cannot afford so much of, higher end facilities.
So, and in fact, as somebody who stays there in old Rajendra Nagar, Ritvik, what is the kind of plight that you have to go through on a daily basis? Because you tell us about yourself as well. Are you from Delhi, or have you also come from a far off place, as was the case with these 3 young students? The plight with which you have to live on a daily basis, and your parents who send you off with so much trust and expectation and hope. I mean, imagine the plight of these, the families of these 3 children, of these 3 students who are now shattered. They were hopeful that their kids would one day be top-ranking officers, but those dreams washed away in a matter of minutes. So talk to us about that, the kind of trust and hope with which your parents send you off to a bigger city, to a metropolitan city like Delhi.
To be very honest now, the plight of the students is like the conditions here in old Rajendra Nagar. Basically, I am from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. I also come from, the small town, this small city, and, coming from such, so much of distance, with a high dreams, high, aspirations is life, and then facing so much of difficulties, then that too in a metropolitan city, that too in a capital cities, too much, for us. And the plight in the old Rajendra Nagar is like there is a very small lane. 90 to 95% of the libraries are running on the basement. That is a breach of the security. That is the breach of the law when it has not been recommended by the top courts, the top officials to open the basement as the library. There are multiple gyms also which is running there. So, I think everybody is aware, every administration, everybody is going through that route every day. but there is no actions being taken. There is no proper precautions that is being on the line. So yeah, we students are at the at the end who suffers.
Okay.
So this is
Stay
what
on with us,
exactly the
Ritvik,
reality.
as we put the focus back on the civic mess that we see in our metropolitan cities and the kind of predicament that students have to sort of live with. But I urge all of you to call in with your views. Tell us what we can do to fix accountability, anything you may want to say as a student, because those are the voices that we really look to champion. But as I said earlier as well, this is not just about one city and one coaching center. It's about metropolitan cities and tier 1, tier 2 cities across the country, and how this incident has really left students in shock. My colleague Tanish Punjabi sent us this report from a coaching hub in Lucknow.
The shocking news of 3 IAS aspirants who lost their life in the national capital has, of course, shocked the country, revealing the civic apathy, and especially in the national capital. But I'm right now in Lucknow. This is one of the student area where, of course, students prepare for competitive examination. This is called Kapurthala, and there are some students sitting here. We'd like to speak to them and ask them how do they feel about this. What do they have to say about this loss of lives that happened in the national capital? आपका नाम?
शिवांशु राय।
आप किस चीज़ की तैयारी कर रहे हैं?
एसएससी सीजीएल की तैयारी कर रहे हैं।
एसएससी सीजीएल की तैयारी कर रहे हैं। आप कहाँ से हैं वैसे? यहीं से हैं आप?
नहीं, हम हैं संत कबीर नगर से।
आप संत कबीर नगर से हैं, तो आप यहाँ आए हैं पढ़ने, लखनऊ पढ़ने आए हैं। ऐसे ही 3 वहाँ पे जाने गई जो अलग अलग जगह से पढ़ने आई थी। एक बिहार से आई थी, एक यूपी से भी थी, अम्बेडकर नगर से। आपको क्या कहना है कि इस तरीके की घटना होती है, बेसमेंट के अंदर पानी भर गया, क्या कहना है आपको इसमें?
एक्चुअली ये न्यूज़ तो दुखद है, लेकिन अब इसमें कोचिंग की भी कुछ गलती है कि उन्होंने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर अपने ध्यान नहीं दिया, या फिर इसमें एक्चुअली इंस्टीट्यूशन की ही मिस्टेक है कि उन्हें ध्यान देना चाहिए कि यहाँ पे फ्लड आ सकता है कि नहीं आ सकता है। अगर आ सकता है तो बेसमेंट को तब तक के लिए खाली रखना चाहिए। एक्चुअली इस मौसम में, जिस मौसम में बारिश बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, और इस तरह से इंस्टीट्यूशन का ही पूरा जिम्मेदारी है।
दिल्ली में काफ़ी प्रोटेस्ट भी हो रहे हैं इस चीज़ को लेकर कि एक्शन लिया जाए, है ना, क्योंकि एक्शन लिया जाता है, मीडिया में कुछ दिन बात चलती है, फिर उसके बाद सारी जो अथॉरिटीज़ हैं वो ढीली पड़ जाती हैं। आपका नाम?
शाश्वत शुक्ला।
आप किस चीज़ की तैयारी कर रहे हैं?
एसएससी सीजीएल।
अच्छा, आप भी एसएससी की तैयारी कर रहे हैं। आपको क्या कहना है इस पूरे इंसिडेंट?
कहने का तो यही है, एक मकसद कि जो इंस्टीट्यूट वगैरह हैं उन्हें अपनी जो कोचिंग वगैरह चला रहे हैं तो उसके ऊपर थोड़ा ध्यान देना चाहिए। स्ट्रक्चर वगैरह, बेसमेंट में जैसे पानी भर गया, उसमें एक छात्रा की मौत हो गई, हमने सुनी है, तो बहुत बुरा लगा। उसके माता पिता लोगों को भी बहुत बुरा लगा होगा कि उन्होंने अपनी बच्ची को बाहर पढ़ने के लिए भेजा, और उनके भी काफ़ी बड़े बड़े सपने रहे होंगे अपनी बेटी से, और कि हमारी बेटी भी आगे चल के कुछ बनेगी, हमें अच्छी जगह।
कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट में यहाँ पर कितने बच्चे लेते हैं? काफ़ी बच्चे होते हैं कैपेसिटी के हिसाब से?
हाँ, काफ़ी बच्चे एक कैपेसिटी होती है 300 स्टूडेंट्स, 500 स्टूडेंट, और फिर कोचिंग वालों के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है। वो लोग काफ़ी बार क्या करते हैं कि जैसे 100 बच्चों की लिमिट है तो वो 300 बच्चे बैठा देते हैं उसमें। अब जैसे छात्रा बैठी थी वहाँ पर दिल्ली में, तो हो सकता है उस कोचिंग में शायद ज़्यादा बच्चे रहे, उसमें भगदड़ मची हो, वो लड़की भाग ही ना पाई हो, इस वजह से डूब गई हो। तो हाँ, कहीं ना कहीं कोचिंग वालों की गलती है। बिल्कुल
कोचिंग वालों की गलती है, लेकिन मेन क्वेश्चन आता है प्रशासन का भी, है ना। आपका नाम?
सावन राय।
आप क्या स्टूडेंट हैं या आप कुछ और करते हैं?
मैं सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड हूँ। सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड।
आप सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड हैं। आपको क्या कहना है इस पूरे?
मुझे यही कहना है कि अभी आज के टाइम में ना एजुकेशन को एक बिज़नेस बना लिया गया है। बस एक होल्ड लगी है लोगों में कि बस मैं एजुकेशन के थ्रू बहुत पैसे अर्न कर सकता हूँ। इसके चक्कर में वो एडमिशन्स लेते हैं बच्चों के, और बच्चे अपना एक फ्यूचर लेके उनके पास जाते हैं, लेकिन वो चीज़ें प्रॉपर बिल्ड नहीं कर पाते इंस्टीट्यूशंस। तो उन्हें इस चीज़ पे ज़्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए कि कोई हमारे यहाँ आ रहा है, कोई स्टूडेंट इनरोल हो रहा है, तो वो अपना एक फ्यूचर मेरे पास लेके आ रहा है, तो हमें उन्हें इंस्टीट्यूशंस को, उनके फ्यूचर को बिल्ड करने पे ज़्यादा ध्यान देना चाहिए।
And with that, we'll take a short break now, but do call us with your views, what you think about in the accountability in cases like this. How do we fix accountability? Who is to blame? Do call us with your views, but for now, we'll skip to a short break. Welcome back. Our big focus on the show at this hour, of course, is the Delhi tragedy where 3 young students lost their lives absolutely tragically. 3 young lives tragically cut short. Where is the accountability? Of course, junior officers being sacked, some arrests being made, but no real accountability. Harish is now joining us from Delhi. Do call us with your views as we put the spotlight back on the issues that are being faced by students. Yes, Harish, go ahead and tell us what you have to say.
Yeah, in my view, the executive engineer of the area, the councillor of the area and the MLA of the area should be criminally accountable for this.
Okay, so you are saying that accountability needs to be fixed on 3 levels. First, of course, on the municipality level, then at the political level, assembly level as well.
The executive engineer level, not the JE or AE or anything.
Okay, so that's an important point that, just suspending a junior officer like a JE doesn't really make sense. It's actually the top of the file, the top of the rank of file, they need to be suspended. So that's an important point being made there by Harish. We have more callers joining in. Binod Sharma from Jammu is also with us. Okay, we seem to have lost that line with Binod Sharma. We'll try and reconnect. But of course, the focus very much here is that accountability needs to be fixed. Ritvik, who's a UPSC aspirant himself, also continues to be with us. But we have a caller online now, Binod Sharma from Jammu. Yes, Mr. Sharma, go ahead.
I have a view that this tragedy has happened and young lives have been lost. I should, besides other measures, government should pay good compensation to the families of the deceased, but every penny of it should be recovered from the proprietors of the institute instead of paying it from this public exchequer. That is my suggestion.
So you're saying that compensation should be given to the families of the victims, but do you think that that is enough given the fact that...
No. Besides all other legal measures, this is... action should be taken, but whatever compensation is good compensation is paid to them, and every penny of that should be recovered from the persons responsible for this tragedy instead of paying that from the taxpayers' money at public access.
That's right, sir, and interesting that you join us from Jammu as well, because
my spelling is wrong. It is not B for Bombay, it is B for victory.
Sorry?
My name is written B-I-N-O-D.
Yes, that's how we have reflected your name. But I was saying it's interesting you join us from Jammu, because I know a lot of people here in Old Rajinder Nagar and Karol Bagh, who students who've come from Jammu, so from far off places, who come here with a lot of hopes and expectations.
So I said my spelling is spelled wrong. It is not B for Bombay, it is V for victory.
Okay, we'll correct that, sir. But my question is that here in Delhi, there are a lot of students who come from Jammu with a lot of hopes and expectations in Delhi.
Yes. So, this is good for, the same applies to students coming from all other states.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Mr. Vinod, for joining us with that. We have another caller on the line. Ashok is joining us from Kolkata. Yes, Mr. Ashok, go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, regarding this issue, there are 3 points I want to make.
Yes.
Use of the basement for study purpose or library purpose or whatever it is. Second is water logging on the streets. Okay? And whose responsibility is this? And the responsibility of the parliamentarians or the political party. These are the 3 issues. I find that in many cities like Kolkata, Bombay, you will find water logging, most of the cases. The question is, if there is a building where basement is used for the purpose of studies or whatever it is, there will always the water will flow there, and unless the institute or user of this building have some safety measures, the thing will happen like this. Okay, so here I find that it is the failure of this coaching center to prevent any safety measures or in using this basement for the purpose of coaching, firstly. Secondly, regarding the issue of water logging, in many cities you will find water logging.
Yes.
In Bombay, you go there is water logging. In Kolkata, in many parts, there will be water logging in any season. Yes, the municipalities should act, but there are many reasons for which they fail. So we cannot actually blame for such incidents I can put the blame to the municipalities.
Okay.
Third is the party. Third is the political parties. They should not do politics on this. They should join hands to find out why it is happening like this and bring out legislation, proper legislation, so that no center, no coaching center, nobody can use basement for their living purposes.
Absolutely. So, important point that political parties or the government of the day cannot be exonerated either. Thanks very much, sir, for joining us. Nikhil is also joining us from Ghaziabad. Yes, Nikhil, go ahead and tell us what you think about this.
Well, see, first and foremost, I would like to pay homage to all the 3 students who have died. And I was going through one of the news lately that one of the girl who has died, the father has taken loan for her to study in the Rao classes. So the first thing I think we should be doing is asking all these coaching centers who are earning money on behalf of a student's parent, and they are working really hard to make their child bloom in their future. But what we are getting in return, I also have studied there for 3 years and I have get nothing. Now I'm working as a software engineer, and in return I have received nothing from there. So there is all chaos over there. We have to get this organized in certain way. Government should intervene in processing all these coaching centers properly.
All right. Thanks very much, Nikhil, for joining us with that. We have more callers online, but we'll have to slip into a short break. We return with this top focus on NDTV right now. Do call us with your views. Welcome back. Our big focus, of course, the horrific tragedy in the national capital. How do we make our cities safer for students coming from far-off cities? We have callers joining in. Rajesh Sehgal is joining us from Delhi. Mr. Sehgal, I believe you were a resident of Rajendra Nagar where this tragedy happened. Go ahead and tell us your own story.
Ma'am, I'll just try to wrap up in 1 minute. I have lived in old Rajendra Nagar for 50 years. And, you know, the blame is to be shifted and to be talked about. It's having a very, lot of parts of the story are there. The first is that, ma'am, there is a lot of greed which has accumulated in this particular area. The greed is earning money, and the property dealers, the people have started using their houses, started converting their houses out of the building plan. There are 3 rooms, authorized by NCD for a building plan. They have started building 5 rooms. The area I used to live used to be so peaceful and all. I have left that area after 50 years of residence. The reason, mushrooming of PGs. And that mushrooming of PGs is causing so much of, there is a area which has marked population for 50 people. And suddenly if it increases for 500 people, you can imagine what will happen, not only on the resources and everything. So this is all not only because of that, but it is also because of the greed and the other area and the things which
absolutely.
are
And as you said, the mushrooming of PGs and hostels is a big issue, and that has to be sort of brought under some sort of regulation. Mr. Vasudev Ghar from Bengaluru is joining us. Yes, Mr. Vasudev, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello. Yeah, I've been a resident of Rajendra Nagar at one point of time when I was working in Delhi. And old Rajendra Nagar actually. And when I had been there, I know the entire topography of the area. And the place itself, which was meant to be for the placement of the West Pakistan's displaced persons. Now that had been converted. They were thatched houses actually, and which had been given by the government, the then government of partition. These places have been developed into 4-storied or 5-storied buildings, and in between the houses, when there is a lane, the buildings almost touch each other, so it's not habitable for that matter.
Absolutely.
And there's hardly any space for walking in between the lanes. How come for the lure of filthy lucre, these people are allowing the basements to be used for coaching purposes?
Absolutely. I'm afraid, Mr. Vasudev, I'm really sorry. I'd have to interrupt you there. But, several important points being made there by Mr. Vasudev. This continues to be our top focus on NTV. Unfortunately, we'll have to slip into a short break right now.